Okay. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar testing.
KJ7, Homo, VK3JD, loud and clear here. My new D-Star bridge is working.
And you're coming through loud and clear on ASL.
Alright, thanks a bunch, and the both of you are sounding good. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. We'll start the net in a few minutes. What was I gonna do? Oh, yeah.
D-Star's going to go down for another minute or so, restarting the reflector for troubleshooting an unrelated issue.
Alright, copy that. KJ7 OMO.
Worldwide Pride Net begins in 5 minutes.
Link to DCS 432D.
D-Star should be back online, VK3JD. Yeah, network should be complete.
Alright, copy that. By the way, I heard the automated announcement from the D-Star as it was reconnecting. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Good to know that everything's working.
Yeah, I thought I'd turned off at my end to not hearing anyone announcements, basically. But it might be only to do with All-Star Link and not actually stop the D-Star, etc. announcements propagating through. But yeah, I thought I turned that off, but I might have to go through. I've been finding things a bit odd with this, especially with documentation with ASL. It's nowhere near up to date to what it should be. I think, but yeah. Alrighty, we got 2 minutes, so I've got enough coffee to last me for a while. Anyway, back around to you there, Kimberley, KJ7IMO, VK5, ZSH in the group.
Sure got it. Yeah, looks like I have. And that other announcement was the bridge between the XLX and the REF 023 Delta. That's a separate binary again, so probably outside our control, but it'll only happen when the reflector comes up, which is normally not a common occurrence. Anyway, I'll let Kimberley take over, the K3JD, still on D-Star.
Alrighty, sounds good. Just doing some final preparations right here, and we'll get the ball rolling. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alright, we're almost ready to go. Just dealing with a slight issue here, but nothing major. KJ7OMO. Alrighty, looks like I've got everything all sorted. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. My name is Kimberly, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar is my call sign, and my pronouns are she, her. I am your net control operator for this net. This is a roundtable, general discussion, and rag-chew net, and all calls should go through the net control station. This net meets every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, do we have any emergency or other priority traffic? If at any time there is an emergency, please say break, and we will assist you. This net provides a safe place for members of the LGBTQIA+ community, as well as their allies, to hang out over the airwaves. This net, as well as the network it's hosted on, is open to all licensed amateur radio operators. No membership is necessary, and we welcome third-party traffic as well. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group provides an inclusive environment for all to learn, experiment, and enjoy radio communications by encouraging, promoting, and supporting diversity with the wider radio community, sharing our experiences and learnings with the community, and celebrating and embracing Pride on the air. For more information about the Pride Radio Group and how to join, plus gain access to our Discord chat room, head on over to prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or you can check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love. Unless you're one of those who hates the LGBT community, of course. This net is being relayed on the various nodes, talk groups, and reflectors of the Pride Radio Network and affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, M17, NXDN, P25, D-Star, and now Peanut, as well as various RF repeaters around the world, and it's also streamed live on my YouTube channel by searching for my call sign, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. And we also have live feeds on Broadcastify and Icecast as well. For more information on how you can connect to this network, visit prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. And finally, you can also track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger on Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. That is netlogger.org. You can log into the software, open up the net, and see a list of call signs populate in real time and follow along the net. It's a neat piece of software. And if you're on Android devices, you could download a more limited NetLogger client called NetScraper. That is NetScraper on Android. And you'll just see a list of call signs pop up and not much else. Alright, before we begin this evening's net, do we have any news, announcements, or other items of business for the net and the Pride Radio Group?
Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, with one announcement and a check-in.
Alright, sounds good. We'll get you checked in, and since I heard Dale out there, I'll get him checked in as well. Go ahead with your announcement.
Yeah, g'day Kimberly, everyone else. And the announcement is that my Pride Network hub for all the digital voice modes and All-Star and one of the Echolink points is all now running together on the new server. So the old servers are currently shut down, still available, but they're shut down, so they're not supporting anything at all. The new server's doing everything. So we are pretty close to the final configuration. All that remains to be done is completely decommission the two old servers. I've got to take a backup of one of them and then decommission them later in the week. And once I've decommissioned them, I will upgrade the remaining server to make sure it's got plenty of spare capacity to handle a higher workload. And for the Tech Geeks, we are running on 23 Docker containers plus 3 or 4 applications running on the host itself that directly form parts of the system. So yeah, you could say it's a beast. KJ7RMO with the group VK3 JD.
Alright, VK3JED, KJ7OMO returning. That sounds like some fantastic news there. Awesome sauce. I do need to get with you sometime, and Jared too, if they're around, to get all my Docker stuff back up and running. Anyways, do we have any other news, items of business, or any other type of announcement for the Net and the Pride Radio Group? Alrighty, hearing nothing, before we continue, I do have one announcement. We now have an experimental bridge into Peanut. Yep, that's right. We have one new mode we could try out and have fun with. At the moment, it is not 100% stable because I'm having to route all the traffic through my 44net IP, which is the only way I can give it a static IP at this time. So don't expect to have a perfect connection to Peanut. But so far through our test, it has been working for the most part fine. But don't expect a perfect connection, but at least we do have a Peanut bridge now that we could have fun with. So enjoy the new mode. Alright, with that out of the way, let's start taking some check-ins. I have VK3JED checked in, VK5ZSH checked in. Before we take any others, let's first see if there's any mobile short on time or in and out stations. So if you're mobile short on time or just want to pop in for a quick hello and pop out, you may come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station, will be standing by for check-ins from mobile short on time and in and out stations.
Kilo Echo 8 Papa Hotel Lima. That's Kilo Echo 8 Papa Hotel Lima. I'm just going to be in and out tonight because I'm really tired. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, but I just wanted to come in and say hi to everybody. And I wanted to say that on GitHub right now, I have up like a petition for the FCC, to possibly work on that, and then once we get it all done, get some signatures, and hopefully, get some better privacy protections with like the online database and stuff. And Darren helped with that today, and I want to thank them. And if they want to talk about it some more, then that it definitely let them because it was pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to say hi and bye to everyone, and I hope you have a awesome net, and I'll try to stick around for the whole thing next week. Take care, everyone.
Alright, Kilo Echo 8, Papa Hotel Lima, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, sounds good. If you're in the Pride Radio Group Discord, go ahead and shoot that out over there, and we'll take a look. If not, then please send me an email of that GitHub and petition stuff, and I'll take a look at it. as soon as I can. I'm good on QRZ. And thanks for stopping by, and 7-3 to you. Alright, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in? We're gonna open it up to anyone, anywhere. So anyone, anywhere, if you'd like to check in. All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf. Again, Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf.
3,
They, them.
Victor Indigo Uniform, DB. Checking in. And I brought a friend with me tonight. And back to net control.
Alright, that was a double. So, I believe I heard Kilo Echo 8 Victor X-Ray Golf. If I got the call sign wrong, I'll give you a moment to correct that. Who was the other station that was doubling?
Sorry, that was me, TV. KC3 VIU, KC3 VIU.
Alright, Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India Uniform, got you down. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Let's see who else is out there. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for more check-ins. Alrighty, it looks like we got a nice list of stations here, so we'll toss it up to the top. Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, go ahead and take it away. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yeah, okay, Kimberly, and a good afternoon to everyone else there. Yeah, so, yeah, I hope all is well. Just sorting out another technical issue, unrelated, but yeah, that's giving a little grief, running the D-Star reflector in Docker's, giving some interesting results, to say the least. And that still looks a bit... yeah, well, we'll have to sort that out. but yeah, more from the BMR side than anything else. So, yeah, debugging some very strange issues for those old enough to remember. Cue the Twilight Zone theme, because that's where it's going. So you've been tinkering a fair bit. I've actually managed to finish off the migration. You're really happy with that. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, I think it sort of helped me get over the move and that to work on just a problem that requires no working out things in physical space, just logical. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result for the most part. So, yeah, all is good. Other than that, no other real radio activity. I can't access the local 2-metre repeater here, but the 70 centimetre one does work. Anyway, KJ7OMO, the group, VK3JD on a mild today, only 27 expected today. We have been in the mid-30s for the last few days.
Yeah, copy that. All right. Yeah, here it's been relatively mild. I think it was in the 20s in the daytime, Celsius, of course. Really nice weather out in the day, though nighttime is still kind of brutal for us. In the probably around between 8 and 15 Celsius at night. Brutally cold for us. Anyways, for ham radio activities, well, a few nights ago I was on HF and I made some FT8 contacts on 10 meters and FT8 contacts on 15 meters, more FT8 contacts on 20 meters. But when I went down to 40 meters, nothing. I mean, I was hearing a few stations here and there, but on 40 meters, nothing. 80 meters, nothing. 160 meters, nothing. But that day we was having an angry sun, and usually when the sun is angry the entire day, nighttime becomes very dicey. So it was very likely the reason why I was having such a hard time on 40 meters and below. Usually I make great contacts on 40 meters and 80 meters. Anyways, that was pretty much it for ham radio related activities. Alright, we're gonna kick it over to Victor Kilo 5 Zulu Sugar Hotel, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
KJ7OMO, VK5, ZSH, yes, yes, and yes. There we go. 10 metres is rocking at the moment. Believe it or not, really funny. There's not many people on, but this Finland station came out of nowhere. They actually must be probably got a beam pointed straight down to Australia because it took me a few goes to get them, but yeah, they're in the log, so that's another country off the bucket list there. So that's 60 countries. So yeah, while the bands are crappy, run FT8. When the bands are good, SSB. But yeah, talking about that, yeah, I'm actually waiting for my ISP to actually get off their backsides and do what they got to do to be able to provide fibre to the house, which will be really nice because then I am literally going to go out the front on the road, and the little white box that's here, network connection device, I'm going to put a sledgehammer through it because it gives me nothing but grief on 40 and 80 metres. I can only run FT8 on those if I want to run the internet at the same time. And being that I'm not the only person that lives here, I can't keep turning the internet off just to play radios. So I've got to play nice with the others. What else have I been up to? Hang on, I'll just drop the mic for a sec. Radio-wise, haven't been up to a lot because we've gone through, 7 or 8 days where it's been above 30 degrees Celsius, which, what's that, 92 degrees Fahrenheit, something around that. But, yesterday we pinged 41.9, I think it was, degrees Celsius, which is up around the 110 Fahrenheit there. So yeah, we're getting weather like you there at the moment, Kimberly. When was it? Not last night, night before. It did not get under 25 degrees. It was a shocker of a night. And last night and today is our own mark. They weren't sure whether we were going to get this 1 days of cool change. So, all right. I've waffled on enough for this over. But yeah, been talking to. Hang on. Whilst I got it in my head, been talking to Tony there on Discord, and he's keeping me up with who he's doing his hosting through and stuff, and I'm going to look at migrating all my stuff from the US over to here, and hopefully add some extra redundancy to the VK free DNR and the Worldwide Pride network here as well, and maybe do some load balancing or what have you there between myself and Tony, but that's a topic for later on down the track there. So anyway, back around to you there, Kimberly. Thanks for putting on the show as per usual. KJ7 IMO, VK5 ZSH in the group.
All right, VK5ZSH, KJ7 OMO returning. All right, sounds good. We're going to toss it over to Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar.
Yep, this is Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf. Had a pretty good day here. The temperatures here were also in the 20s, however that was Fahrenheit, not Celsius. It's about -4 Celsius right now here in Ohio. Mostly around -3 during the day. I was painfully aware of that because I spent most of the day outside. There was a statewide Ohio VHF and up simplex contest. So I went out, was doing portable at some parks, kind of mixing it with some parks on the air. Had a antenna up on a fiberglass mast and sitting outside trying to make contacts. I got 36 contacts, so I'm pretty happy with that. First VHF, first contest, really. I haven't done any contesting yet, so this is first contesting, first VHF, UHF contest. It was a good time. I just wish it was a little bit warmer. It was layered up and still very cold. Other than that, not much else going on, so I'll go ahead and throw it back to the net. This is Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf, passing it back to net control.
All right, KE8 Victor X-Ray Golf, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Yikes, that is so cold over there. Wow. Yeah. Temperature in the 20s would be in the negative, for, the folks who do, Celsius. Like what, maybe, I don't know, I'm only guessing -3, -4, -5, I don't know, somewhere around there. I'm quite horrible at Celsius. Anyways, not much to say at the moment, so we'll toss it straight over to Kilo Charlie 3, Victor India Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
KC3VIU. Yeah, actually wanted to introduce my friend, K8WCU. I'm going to stand aside for a minute while she does her introduction, and then come back to network control.
Alright, if I heard that, was that Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Charlie Uniform?
That's correct. Back to net control.
Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and call that station next. KE8WCU, KJ7OMO.
This is KE8WCU, Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Charlie Uniform. Yes, good evening. My name is Rachel. I'm just going to do a quick check-in here. First time being introduced to the net here. Sounds like a very active group here. Yeah, so I'll be just in and out and monitoring for this evening. And I will throw it back to net control. Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Charlie Uniform.
Alrighty, Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Charlie Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Alright, well, thank you for the chicken and 7-3, and we hope you'll enjoy the net. Feel free to check back in anytime, and we'll put you back in the spot right where you're at. KC3VIU, did you have any further traffic before we call for more check-ins?
Yeah, this is KC3VIU. Yeah, the weather here is about the same as in Ohio. I'm not sure about the wind, though. The wind over here is crazy. I moved into a new townhouse last year after separating from my wife, after divorce, I should say. And I can hear all the Tyvek house seal, the house wrap, flexing and flapping in the wind. It's a nice place, and it seems to be decently built, but I just hear the type sound coming through the walls. So I haven't even ventured outside yet. No, I take it back. I did. I went outside for about 30 seconds today, and that was about it. But I have a lot of stuff I was taking care of inside. I was really working a lot this week, and I'm every day, early to late, and I got up this morning too late to attend a Winterfest in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I didn't realize that they ran the thing so early in the morning, starting at 7, and they said they would run it at least until 11, but it didn't seem like they were going to be sure that they were going that. So by the time I woke up at 8:30, I thought, okay, get there at 9:30. Wait, no, I need to get ready. Yeah, I'm going to miss it. So KC3VIU.
Alright, KC3VIU, KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. Sounds like a lot of stuff going on over there. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All that's needed from you or from y'all are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, and I will be standing by for more check-ins to the net.
Golf Fox Quebec. This is Kilo 6, Golf Foxtrot Quebec. Darren, pronouns they or he.
Alright, you were breaking up quite a lot while you were giving out your call sign, so I did not catch that. Could you repeat your call sign again?
Kilo Golf 6, Golf Foxtrot Quebec. Kilo Golf 6, Golf Foxtrot Quebec.
Alright, Kilo Golf 6, Golf Foxtrot Quebec. Got you down this time. Pronouns are they, he. Did I got that correct?
That is correct. KG6GFQ.
Alright. Got you down. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time?
November 8, Victor, November Romeo. November 8, Victor, November Romeo. Indianapolis evening.
Alright, November 8, Victor, November Romeo. Got you down. Thanks for stopping by. And 7-3. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, one more time. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, we have a check-in via Macedon from Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray. He is having issues connecting with the network. Hopefully, if you can hear us, hopefully you'll be able to make it. Anyone else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, let's go ahead and toss the mic over to Kilo Golf 6, Golf Foxtrot Quebec, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
KJ7OMO, KG6GFQ. Thank you. Nice talking to folks again. I heard Rain mention that petition earlier, and I did post a link to that in the Discord because I'm not sure Rain is on there yet. And I contributed a little bit to the GitHub repository, just outlining some reasons why the FCC should consider allowing people to hide their address in call sign databases and allow people to list a preferred name instead of a legal name. I think the idea is that folks will, hopefully more folks will get involved and help draft that and maybe work on some other projects as well. I think that's all for me. Back to Net Control, KG6GFQ.
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna participate in that as well, because yeah, we really do need privacy. That's an absolute, and the ability to list whatever name we want. I know other countries, like for example Canada, you could put your if you wanted to, you could not publish any of your information, and they're totally fine with that. But in the U.S., that's a different story, and that's not a really nice thing at all. So yeah, we should definitely petition the FCC for that for sure. And if the FCC won't do anything, then the next step would be to contact our local lawmakers and see if they're willing to help. Anyways, we're gonna toss it back up to the top. VK3 JED KJ7OMO. Wait, before I toss it, AE4WX, that station first. Are you able to make it through? Cause yeah, I know you're having a little issue with your connection. KJ7OMO. Alright, we'll just mark that station as an in and out for now, and he can check back in later on. VK3 JED Europe KJ7OMO.
Okay, I'm not sure what AE4WX is using or what mode they're trying to use. But I would strongly recommend anyone going in on a digital mode, if you're having connection trouble, update your host file, because as a result of the completion of the migration, a number of modes have changed IPs in the last week. M17 and D-Star certainly have, at the very least. So if you're using either of those modes, update your client hotspot, whatever you're using. I think everything else was already on the new IP, but if in doubt, update your host. That may be all you need to do. If you've got private hosts, you'll have to edit them. IP address can be supplied if necessary. A bit easier doing it through Discord, and yeah, AE4WX is around on Discord because I'm not monitoring Mastodon. even though it's better than Twitter, it's still not a great way to reach me. I check it relatively infrequently, but I do prefer it to Twitter, which I don't check at all. Fine on everyone's projects and bits and pieces, and the different weather. Currently 26 degrees here in central Victoria, which is more than, I think, about 11 degrees cooler than yesterday. Got to 37, I think, yesterday, and I think we're back up to 34 tomorrow and 37 again on Tuesday. So a brief respite from the heat. Quite a pleasant day. I was out taking a walk this morning, and very enjoyable with a nice cool breeze. Very comfortable weather. And for you, Dale, we should get together in the net ops at some stage to work out what you want to do in terms of what services you want to run, and we can hook you into the most go through the main backbone on USRP, but it all depends on exactly what you want to offer. And you're close enough, I can actually offer you a dual feed if you're going to do some of the AMBE plus 2 based modes, as well as I can give you a better feed for those, as well as USRP, so we can work that out in NetOps. And good to see people doing POTA and FOTA and those sorts of things. Haven't had a time to do that myself, and definitely not this time of year. This is my last free weekend, and I'll probably become RareDX on this net for the next 2 months. KJ7RMO, the group VK3JD.
VK3JED KJ7OMO returning. Well, we're gonna miss it throughout the 2 months that you're gonna be busy, but anyways, do have fun with all those adventures, and VK5ZSH, KJ7OMO. We'll toss the mic over to you.
KJ7IMO, VK5ZSH in the group returning. And what did I forget? I forgot to... I was going to actually do this over on your Peanut connection, the Peanut connection there, Kimberly, but I forgot because I was doing some other stuff there, and anyone that runs FTA. I actually, I tried out last night a little bit more of the JT DX, and for some reason I seem to be picking up more stations than what I was with WS JTX. And as someone else on Discord has mentioned to me, that JT DX is a little bit more aggressive on its decoding and stuff. And then if you want to go to the next step, I think it's NSDV or NSHV, something like that, which is a totally different ball game and a lot more aggressive on decoding again. So, and the other thing that I'm finding too is it seems to be, I think, transmitting a better signal too than what WSJTX was doing. So, and Tony, yeah, we'll have to catch up at some stage. It's a pity that we don't live closer, where we could actually catch up and have a coffee. But yeah, I'd be interested in doing, helping out with some of the load balancing and stuff like that. Like I was saying to you earlier, I want to do the rebroadcast the VK5 local news that we have after the Sunday morning WIA broadcast. See, I'm not sure what Jared's up to either, so he's another person that I have to sit down and have a chat to at the same time, so we can all go, okay, well, who's going to do what and what have you. So yeah, I don't mind helping out with some of the load there and what have you. So yeah, and yeah, weather-wise, last night was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, not a common thing that I actually do, but after the stinker with the laptop last night, so I haven't been to bed yet, so I'm still popping on half cylinders at the moment. The coffee's starting to wear off, so yeah. What else was there? Yeah, the FCC stuff there. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we can do much there in the way of helping you guys there in the US and whatnot. But we've got the same problem here in Australia with the ACMA. Unless you've got a PO box, it's basically your home address that gets publicised up on the database that they host. But now that they want us to go, I forget what they want us to go to. But anyway, ACMA don't want to deal with amateur radio stuff with like looking after the call sign database, yada yada yada. So yeah, not sure what's going to happen there, and who's going to end up hosting that, and what details then will be publicised on the web to for people to access. Because I'll be one of those people that'll be disgruntled if they turn around and say you have to have a residential address down here. It's like, no, I live in a post box. So yeah, that's one good thing with the ACMA is they still have the actual physical address there, but if you've got a postal address, they'll put that up on the web instead of your home address. Because yeah, I've actually had radio inspector knock on my door, didn't realise and whatnot, and yeah, I've got a nice ticket here saying sorry we missed you type thing. So I probably timed out, didn't I?
You did. All right, VK5ZSH KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. It's a darn shame that the regulatory agent, communications regulatory agencies want to publish your info out there and basically dox you. Hopefully that could be changed. And if you like, and if any of you like, y'all could could make a copy of our petition and modify it for, ACMA and see where that goes. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and move it right along and toss the mic over to Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
I had to hurry up, and this is Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf. I had to hurry up and get back to my Echolink app. I was listening to the background on my phone, and I'm like, how many apps have I opened since? Several, apparently. Yeah, I don't really have too much else. I did send in the Discord a couple photos I took from the first park I was at. It's actually kind of a special park. It's Wingfoot Lake, which is where the Goodyear blimp is. The hangar is a little bit, it's pretty much right there in the park. Like the last photo I sent that has the hangar in it, building across the lake, and that was not zoomed in at all. That was just about how far it was, not that far. It was a pretty nice day, I'll have to say. Like, it was nice and sunny, not too bad, but it was still a little cold. But it could have been worse. I have gone out when it's been, gone out to just some parks on the air while it's been snowing, more like sleet and cold and windy. Not the most enjoyable during those, so I was definitely glad it was a decent day out today, but yep, that's about all I have. So this is Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf. Back to net control.
All right, Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll have to take a look at those pictures when we're done here. All right, Kilo Charlie 3, Victor India uniform. We'll toss it over to you, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yeah, this is KC3VIU. I forgot to mention my pronouns before, Phoebe as she, her. Yeah, I'm still waiting for now 1 week, 3 days for the arrival of my first HT. Ordered it from Amazon. It made it all the way to a place about 22 miles south of where I live, and then for some reason or other there was no news of it, and they said, ooh, so at 1:30 in the afternoon they said, yep, it's on its way. Then at 5 o'clock they said, ooh, we're not going to make delivery today. I'm like, okay. Next thing I knew, it was in Jersey City, New Jersey. It spent until Friday there, or Wednesday, then made its way to Philadelphia. It's now in Philadelphia. I have no idea when it's going to get here. It looks like, based on previous movements, it might be here tomorrow. But, yeah, I'm going to be frustrated. At any rate, back to net control, KC3VIU.
Alrighty, KC3VIU, KJ7OMO returning. I don't have anything to say at this time, so we'll toss it over to Kilo Golf 6, Golf Foxtrot, Quebec. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
KJ7OMO, this is KG6GFQ. I think you're spot on suggesting that the folks in Australia could probably borrow a lot of the language from that petition once it's written, and also I'll note that at the moment a lot of what we need to write is basically the hey, look, FCC, these are the reasons why ham radio operators should have an option of not doxing themselves when they get their licenses. And that's going to be pretty much independent of jurisdiction. So if anyone wants to contribute to the language or citations for that section, you would be welcome to help. In radio news, I guess I was so excited to try to connect to the net through a local repeater's IRLP link, and got on the repeater, and someone locally told me that my signal was absolutely terrible, so I think I'm going to be looking for a new antenna for my handheld soon. And Phoebe, I hope your handheld makes it to you soon. That sounds exciting and frustrating. All right, KJ7OMO, back to you. This is KJ6GFQ.
Alright, KG6GFQ, KJ7OMO returning. Sounds good. And, yeah, that sucks that your signal going into that IRLP node was crap, but hopefully that could be improved soon. Alright, I know this next station was having some connection issues to Echolink, and he said on Mastodon that it could have been on his end, so he rebooted his node, so now his node should be back online. So, Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray, let's see if you're there with us. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alright, well, looks like he's not back with us yet. He's not with us yet. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station, and I'll be standing by for more check-ins to the net. Alright, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, hearing crickets, we're going to toss it back up to the top. VK3JED, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, okay, Kimberly. And, yeah, as for the petition, at this point in time, we have to approach it a bit differently because the licensing system is in transition to the class license, and the database will be outsourced to uncertain where, but there is a push to have certain minimum information. I think it's just basically call sign, general location, but certainly not as much detail as is currently available. So, it'd be good to enter into that process. It'd probably be the way to go at this point in time. Get in on the ground floor and have a say, and sort that out. Dave, I'm not sure what you mean by load balancing, because I'm not sure how to achieve that in the traditional sense with the radio systems. You can do it manually, of course, by setting up a parallel server and giving the details, but I'm not sure how you can do a server, with multiple processors, but the same ID, like load balancer in front of, say, a cluster of web servers or database servers, for instance. I'm not sure how that would work, or if it's even possible with the software we're doing, but experimenting, playing around. So if you want to set up your own reflectors and stuff on your server when you get it up and running over here, we'll support you, help you get up and running, and link you in with the best backbone for the job, and you could join in the fun. There's also how redundancy can be offered. It will be a little bit limited because that would require redesign of analog reflector, basically. That basic software that literally hasn't been written yet. And I saw the photos of the National Parks operation. A little bit cold for my liking. There's always white stuff on the ground. I prefer conditions to be a little bit warmer than that. Anyway, KJ7OMO, the group, VK3 JD.
Alright, VK3JED, KJ7OMO returning. We're gonna toss the mic straight over to VK5ZSH, KJ7OMO. Take it away, Dale.
Thanks, Kimberly. And I have a top timer on now, so my handheld will start to beep at me. Took me a little while to figure it out, because it wasn't set the conventional way that I thought it would be. Tony, I'll bounce you a link to a PDF file that talks about limiting connections and load balancing, basically with using Asterix, All-Star Node, basically. So, it basically talks about that. I've done a fair bit of reading last night. It was actually good. Not every night that I, sit outside and enjoy the world go by while it's nice and cool. Kimberly, I posted a message there about what I was talking about with our situation here in Australia. ACMA isn't the problem. It's the people that are coming to take over that will be the problematic thing on what information they want to display, etc. So, what else have I got to add? Not a lot. Being I've already timed out the network once, I'll put it back to you there, Kimberly. KJ7IMO, VK5ZSH in the group.
Alright, VK5ZSH, KJ7OMO returning. Perfect timing. And yeah, I got your message there on Discord. Kilo Echo 8 Victor X-Ray Golf, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. We're gonna send it over to you.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf. Yeah, I don't think I really have too much more to talk to for the net tonight. I'm tired. I can't even form sentences right. So with that, I'm probably gonna head out. So this will be my last time around if you guys are still going. So. With that, I'll say 73 to everyone, and have a good night, afternoon, rest of your day, wherever you're at. This is Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf, and I'll toss it back to Net Control, KJ7 OMO.
Alright, Kilo Echo 8, Victor X-Ray Golf, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, returning. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out with us, and I shall say 7-3, and we'll see you again on the next one. Kilo Charlie 3, Victor India Uniform, we'll send it to you. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yes, this is KC3VIU, Phoebe. Yeah, pretty much about the same state here. Eyelids are starting to get a little heavy. I think it might be time for an interior scan again. So what I'll just go ahead and pass it back to the net. Yeah, clear on my final, then back to Net Control, KC3VIU.
Alright, KC3VIU, KJ7, I'm returning. Well, you have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. 3373 and all the numbers, and we'll see you on the next one. Kilo Golf 6, Golf Foxtrot, Quebec. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
This is KG6GFQ. Thanks for the further information about your call sign database in Australia. I hope it worked out for you and you got a good organization running that. Not sure I have too much else to say this evening, so I will also say 73. Have a good night, everyone. KG6GFQ, clear.
Alrighty, looks like people are dropping like flies. Hi. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out with us, and 7-3, and we look forward to hearing you again on the next one. Let's see if Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray is able to connect with us. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and mark him as checked out. Doesn't look like we'll hear from Mark tonight. Or this morning, for this afternoon in the Australian time zone. Hi. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, she, her, and I'll be standing by for more check-ins to the net.
This is N3VEM, that's November 3, Victor Echo Mike, Vance, he, him.
Alright, November 3, Victor Echo Mike, got you down. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, November 3, Victor Echo Mike, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, welcome aboard, and hello to you. Woo, it's raining!
Hey, good evening, Kimberly, and good evening to, I guess a couple folks are still around. Right as I sat down and turned on the radio, I heard most folks giving their finals and turning in for the evening. We were doing family movie night here at our house, so we were watching Encanto this evening with the kiddos, so that just wrapped up a little bit ago, and figured I'd turn on the radio and see if you all were still at it, so I'm glad I could at least catch the tail end here for maybe a round or two, depending how long folks are around. But yeah, since I just sat down, I don't know what all of the various topics of the conversation were. So I'll, I guess just in the interest of sharing new exciting updates, I think I had shared on the net a couple weeks ago about the model rockets with radios in them projects that I've been doing. And that was actually just accepted as a topic for the upcoming QSO Today Ham Radio Expo. So that's, I guess, the exciting radio news I have is that I'll be putting together a presentation to talk about the APRS and LoRa stuff and the model rockets that I've been doing with the kids. So that's I guess, the exciting news on my end. So yeah, I'll pass it back to you and see who all's still around. N3, VEM.
Alright, N3VEM KJ7 OMO returning. That sounds really awesome. Rockets and radio. That sounds like a lot of fun. VK3JED, we'll toss it over to you, KJ7 OMO. VK3JED KJ7OMO. It would help if I stopped the transmit thingamajig. Sorry about that.
Who were into rocketry, but never amounted to actually doing anything. But I do find it amateur rocketry fascinating, and they were interested in using radio at the time as well. So yeah, you do have my interest. I'm very interested to hear how it goes, and yeah, what sort of results you have with whether it's video telemetry or something else altogether. Yeah, very curious, and yeah, it's still Dale and myself are still here. And speaking of Dale, yeah, just having a quick glance at that PDF. The only issue I see is it's all for ham VoIP, which is actually quite different to ASL, which is what I'm using. Yeah, with the X8664s, you have to use ASL because ham VoIP's compiled for the ARM processor on the Pi. Yeah, if you can get hold of the source, I don't know if they do if there's an easy way to get hold of the source, theoretically you should be able to get it, of course, but with the source of their build options, you should be able to build it for the x86 64, but I haven't seen a version for that platform, and I don't want to go running emulators and all that sort of jazz. But yeah, they do set it up quite differently. Can't say it's better or worse, it's just different. But I think it is a more modern version. ASL has sort of had a number of years out of development. I think they're back developing it again, but other than the beta, nothing new has really come through the pipe. The beta is an improvement. So yeah, I'll have another read through, but extensions.conf is sort of one step removed from line noise for me. It's a file that's very hard to get one's head around. I can sort of get bits and pieces of it, but overall it can be hard to interpret. Anyway, KJ7OMO with the group BK3JJ.
VK3JED KJ7OMO returning. As far as I know, Hamvoit is pretty much closed source, even though they are actually going against open source licenses by closed sourcing open source software. But yeah, they just refuse to let other people's have a their source code for whatever dumb reason. I just don't know. They're just a bunch of weird folks over at Hamvoip. Anyways, VK5ZSH KJ7OMO. Okay, was I transmitting? I'm not sure if I was. In case if I wasn't, I'll repeat everything again. VK3JED KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. Last I checked, and this was quite a long time ago. Hamvoip was closed source, and they just flat out refused to let anybody see their source code for whatever dumb reason. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if, things are different now or if they're still the same way. But yeah, Hamvoit, last I checked anyway, was pretty closed down, even though that violates the open source terms and conditions of the open source license. Anyways, VK5ZSH KJ7OMO, we'll toss it over to you.
KJ7OMO, VK5ZSH in the group returning. Yeah, that actually reminds me of people close sourcing open source stuff, and well, not actually close sourcing it. This mobile phone company in Shenzhen, they were actually removing the GPL license stuff out of the source code and what have you. And Sexy Cyborg on YouTube, she's got a video of it, and yeah, she went in there with a video demanding to talk to people and yeah, and explaining to them where they were going wrong, and lo and behold, they started to respect the GPL license, etc. So yeah, that's all you need. Basically, a Sexy Cyborg. Go in there and wreak all havoc. Because she's one of these people that she's not forwards coming. She's not backwards coming forwards, basically. So yeah, so, I didn't realise that there, Tony, that there was actually a difference between the hand void and ASL. So, I'll watch what I'm take more note of what I'm reading and stuff to, not get myself run down a endless rabbit hole, basically, there. Hang on a sec. And this one's for N3VEM, I think it was, that was talking about the rocket stuff. There's actually a Linux guru. I can't remember his name. Gable, something like that. Anyway, he's into rockets. The not the toy rockets, but the ones that you fuel with, well, I guess not gunpowder, but highly flammable stuff that we're not allowed to play with here in Australia, unfortunately. He's one that's probably well worth checking out. If you can work out who he is. I forget his name. Unfortunately, I'll remember a couple of weeks down the track and probably be able to tell you then. But he's done some interesting stuff with rockets and what have you. So all right, I'll put it back to you there, Kimberly. KJ7IMO, VK5 ZSH.
Alright, VK5ZSH, KJ7OMO, returning, I'll toss it straight over to November 3, Victor Echo Mike, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
I'll just second the hand voice being closed door sites. I think that still is the case, that they have their stuff kind of locked down. And on the model rockets, I think I might have actually seen that person's account. There's a handful of folks that kind of mix model rockets and LoRa and APRS and stuff like that. So it's been a fun project. We built one version of the rocket, did a launch, and had a failed recovery. The parachute didn't open, so the rocket gloriously smashed to pieces, and we're in the process of building version 2. So it's been a lot of fun. But basically built a ground station to receive LoRa and APRS, and then put basically a microcontroller and a bunch of a little LoRa module and some little sets of breakouts and stuff for Metafruit in the rocket. So it's been a lot of fun playing around with. And I think I'm gonna get back to you, Kimberly. I'll be around for a couple more rounds, but I'm getting some funny audio stuff on my end, so hopefully that's not coming through to you guys. N3 VEM.
N3 VEM KJ7 OMO returning. Unfortunately, I had an awful hard time understanding you. Your audio is distorted. You know how it sounds like when you splash a bit of water on a speaker and it starts making those distortions because you splashed a little bit of water on the speaker? Well, that's pretty much what it sounds like, so I was having a hard time understanding it. So, we're going to go ahead and give you a bit of time to sort that out, and while you're sorting that out, I'm going to go ahead and take some more check-ins for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. If anyone would like to check in, please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for more check-ins to the net.
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Juliet Delta.
Echo 4, Whiskey X-ray. He, him, his.
All right, we have a double. We got a double. So far I've copied Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Juliet Delta. Who was the other station that doubled?
This is Alpha Echo 4, Whiskey X-ray. Alpha Echo 4, Whiskey X-ray. Got my problem sorted out.
All right, sounds good. We'll put you back where I'll put you back on the list. I had you checked in advance since you came in through Mastodon, and apparently you weren't able to get back. So now you're checked back in, and we're gonna call you here in a bit. Do we have anybody else wishing to check in at this time? Alrighty, Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Juliet Delta, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. We'll send the mic over to you.
Yes, this is, my name is Herb, Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Juliet Delta, K8RJD, Southeast Ohio, USA, and just check in first time. Heard you guys on the net and just wanted to get out there tonight. It's about 10:30 here in Ohio, about 25 degrees, pretty cold, so just listening in, and back to you. Back to net control, K8RJD.
All right, KE8RJD, KJ7 returning. All right, sounds good. Yeah, that's pretty darn cold. We're gonna go ahead and go a little bit out of order, and we're gonna check back in with Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Well, good evening, Kimberly, and everybody on the net. Thank you for taking my check-in. Had a little technical issue there before. I was trying to check in, and I could not get the Echo link to hear me there, but seem to have got it straightened out now. And it sounds like I missed a heck of a conversation. I came back in, and you all were talking about rockets. I'm like, oh, I would have enjoyed that a lot. So, but glad to be on here. I have been working on trying to. I ordered an Orange Pi, a Raspberry Pi clone, and been setting it up for basically for a VHS station, APRS and WinLink, things like that. The impetus for the project, I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, is that let me key out. The impetus for the project is I live over here in Moore County, North Carolina, where they shot out the substations back in December. And, I had very good communications, I think, for other ham radio operators during that time. I was well prepared for that. But I had a lot of trouble communicating with people who weren't operators, and that's kind of an issue, especially because I'm Red Cross leadership. So I've been working on trying to build that part up, particularly APRS, since you can send text messages via a gateway to people that aren't radio operators. And so I've been playing with that. It's been a bit of a challenge. I've learned a lot of working with Linux and installing from source and that. It's been a great experience. Just about got it where I want it, but it's been some effort. Other thing I've been doing is my wife and maybe my oldest daughter may be taking the tech exam this coming Saturday. So they've committed to it. My wife started working on it tonight. We went through half of the Red Book. So I'm pulling for them, and I'm going to do everything I can to support them to while. And I'll turn it back over to you, Kimberly. Thank you very much. This is AE4WX.
Alright, EE4WXKJ7OMO returning. That sounds mighty good. The audio's a bit on the low side and also on the tinny side as well, but I was able to perfectly copy 100% of that. Anyways, yeah, good hearing you on the net as always. Alright, we're gonna kick it back up to the top of the list. Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. We'll toss it over to you, Tony.
Interesting discussions here. First, some signal reports from Vance. I don't know what's happened. Your signal went downhill, virtually unreadable on D-Star. I had to switch back to All-Star, and I could, very rough, but in terms of audio quality, but I could easily copy it in the analog format. But yeah, too much distortion on the digital side. So yeah, your signal went downhill compared to your first over. That was very good. And for Mark, yeah, you're coming through all sides fine. I went back to digital and could copy you fine, even though there's a slight bit of hiss and probably a bit strong audio, but still quite copyable on D-Star. And yeah, I was definitely fascinated with the rocketry. And as for hand VoIP, yeah, can anyone say GPL violation? It's not the only problematic piece of software, and perhaps we need someone with a law background just to tap a few hands on the shoulder and say, hey guys, yeah, when you're working with GPL software, at least release the source of the derivative parts. It's not the only piece of software I know of that has that issue. There are others. I do know of examples and what they've derived, and if you play around with the various bits of software, you'll be able to work it out for yourself. Often error messages and log file entries between certain pieces of software, some of which is GPL by a well-known ham, are suspiciously similar, shall we say. I.e. virtually identical. So yeah, there's definitely, and that the open source one I know is GPL. I know the author and I know the code. I've built it myself a number of times. Anyway, they're all well here, and today's been a good stress test for the new D-Star bridge, because I'm coming in on the D-Star end of it. Migrated about an hour before the net, and it hasn't missed a beat today, so you could say I'm very happy. Anyway, KJ7OMO with the group, VK3JD.
Yeah, VK3, JET, KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. Yeah, I would agree. That's what they're doing is definitely a major GPL violation, and if they're caught, well, it's not gonna be good for them. And yeah, good to know that the D-Star bridge is holding up quite well, and it's sounding really good. And yeah, no problems here. And from what I can see on the dashboard, the Peanut bridge is holding up pretty good, so that's good news. Anyways, VK5ZSH KJ7OMO, we'll toss it over to you.
KJ7OMO, VK5ZSH in the group returning. yeah, this guy that I'm thinking of that plays around with rockets, he's been to Linux Conf here in Australia, well, a couple of times that I personally know of. And I think actually one of the Linux Confs here, he actually did speak about the rockets and stuff that he plays with. Gabe, I think his first name's Gabe, G-A-B-E, I think. For the life of me, I'm having a real memory block on it. And yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he incorporated some of his Linux stuff into it as well for running GPS and other bits of telemetry data. Basically, logging G-force, etc., with it. So I'm not sure who brought it up about the rocket that crashed and smashed. Sorry to hear that. There's a lot of money in some of those rockets because what was it? Just recently, the last year or so, there was an Australian mob that were going over, I think it was to the US for some competition thing, and their rocket got misplaced, and work their backsides off, get to its destination on time, so the people could actually launch it, etc. Hang on, I'm just going to key up. That was actually interesting there. And yeah, talking about stress testing, my touching wood, my All-Star node is sitting away happily just pottering along, and I'm using my OpenGD77 handheld, doing a whole 50 milliwatts to it. The only thing that I've got to do is actually open this unit up, because I actually want to get another one of these units. But this one here, because it will be a home-based type thing, or a mobile-based one, I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I want to crack it open, and I've got to take a resistor or something off one of the pins on the SA818 chip there, which then will drop the power down to 500 milliwatts. Now, being the data sheet's not real inclusive on its data, I can't say whether it's actually doing a proper 1 watt or what have you at the moment, because I don't have test equipment that will measure accurately that sort of wattage, etc. So I've got to work out what to do for a low-powered power meter, basically. So all right. I've sort of gone around everywhere there, so put it back to you there, Kimberly. KJ7 IMO, VK5 ZSH, and welcome to the new people that have joined in as well. Back to you there, Kimberly.
All right, VK5 ZSH, KJ7 IMO returning. Not much to say at this time, so we'll toss the mic back to Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station. Take it away.
Kimberly. Appreciate it. So I'm actually having a good laugh at myself. I mentioned, I was having some trouble getting into the net before. What was actually happening was I had about a year or two ago, we had the local repeater had been down, and at least the Echolink had node had been down, even though the repeater was up. And I set up my node to connect to that repeater temporarily, so I could just basically provide a little stopgap. And I had forgotten that I had actually saved that node into this handheld here that I'm using, and it was in a different channel. So I was basically calling the old repeater rather than the radio I've got right here connected to Echolink. So, oops, it helps to tune to the right frequency to be able to get in. So I had a good laugh at myself, but hey, at least now I know I got to go in there and change that and get rid of that old one, so I don't do that again. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you, Kimberly. AE4WX.
AE4WX KJ7OMO returning. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it would help if you were transmitting on the correct frequency. Oh my goodness. It happens to the best of us. Yeah, you're not alone. I mean, even I had those accidents a few times when I try to talk into one repeater and I wind up accidentally talking into a completely different one. Oh, how embarrassing that was. Anyways, November 3, Victor Echo Mike. Let's see if your audio issues are cleared up. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Okay, yeah, I think I got it fixed, but I'll kick it back to you just so you can confirm that before I get too windbaggy. Back to you.
Alright, you're sounding pretty good. Back to you for more windbag fun.
Good deal. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. On the rocket bits, and the one that crashed. Luckily it wasn't too. I didn't have too much money into the one that we crashed. In the rocketry stuff, well, there's kind of two categories of the hobby. Well, three really. So there's essentially the model rocketry, which is what we all know of, from when we were kids, the little Estes rockets. And then like what you were describing, that a lot of the colleges and universities get into, and the people that are really big into the hobby is considered high power rocketry, and that requires, just like our ham radio hobby requires licensing and stuff like that, the high power rocketry requires licenses, and there's you have to kind of demonstrate knowledge and building of rockets, and they inspect the ones you build before you can launch them and stuff like that. So those are the two extremes. And the rockets that I've been building fall into what's considered the mid-power category. So they're essentially bigger than the model rockets that we did as a kid, but they are just small enough that they slip under the low end of the licensing requirements. So here in the U.S., there's it's they have to be less than 3 pounds, and they have to use less than 160 newton seconds of thrust and things like that. So it equates to, if you're familiar with the model rockets from a kid, they were like the A, B, C, and D engines, and then mid-power, the engines are essentially the equivalent of E, F, and G in size-wise, and that's a logarithmic scale, how they measure those. And yeah, as far as what they're made of, and I guess that could be why there's probably some restrictions there in Australia. Most of those motors use ammonium perchlorate, which is the same stuff that was in the solid rocket boosters on the shuttle. So it's a little bit more restricted, but it's actually more stable than even the little black powder motors. So it's actually works out real well for model rocketry, because in the volumes that you store it, you don't really have to take any special precautions other than making sure you don't store it somewhere too hot. But yeah, that mid-power, the rocket that I crashed was actually kind of the proof of concept. So I actually had used an old existing model I had and retrofitted it with some newer stuff. I still had a little bit of money into it, so it was still somewhat disappointing to see it crash, but it was probably a couple $100 into that one, between the APRS tracker and the other electronics and stuff. And the new one that I'm building now, I haven't put together a price list, but it'll probably be in that same, couple $100 price range. So not necessarily cheap, but not so expensive that you're scared to launch it. Those high power ones, people are. The engines alone for those high power ones are, $300-400, and you've spent thousands just getting the rocket built. So mine aren't quite that big. I don't have quite that much budget for it. So that's the fun stuff there, and it's a lot of Linux stuff. So I'll do some searching around and see what I can find at the Linux Guru. I have a ground station that I built that's on a Libra computer laid potato, running Armbian that receives the stuff, and then it's a teensy microcontroller that uses the Arduino IDE to program, that's in the actual software fun with building those. So I'll send it back to net. N3 VEM.
N3 VEM KJ7 returning. Well, that sounds like a whole lot of fun there. Shooting rockets up into the sky. That's one of the things I wouldn't mind trying out one of these days. Perhaps maybe shoot one up into the sky with a little radio beacon on it and see what happens. Anyways, we're gonna toss the mic now to KE8 Kilo Echo 8 Romeo Juliet Delta Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
Well, Kimberly, this is Herb from Ohio, KE8 RJD. You're doing a fantastic job running that tonight. The only rocket thing that I can remember when I was a kid, they used to sell those kits that you could, fly up in the air about 2,000 feet. I used to do that back in the early 70s. Not too much of a rocket guy now. I do a lot of fireworks, if that counts for anything. I'm just more into ham radio stuff now, but it's all interesting stuff to see how everybody is progressing into the radio stuff, whether it be into rockets or whether it be into model remote control aircraft, or even on water. You can do all that stuff. So it's just an interesting conversation tonight. And Kimberly, you're doing a great job. And I'm just enjoying listening to all these smart people, because I'm kind of stupid when it comes to all the Elon Musk stuff. So back to you, Kimberly, is K8 RJD.
Well, thank you. KE8 RJD KJ7OMO returning. Already, I don't have much to say at the moment, so we've reached the bottom of the list again. So let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, and I will be standing by for more check-ins. Alright, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, it's nothing but crickets out there in Radioland at this time. Perhaps maybe if we bring out the Tree Shaker Extreme 9 million, we might be able to shake a few people out of hiding. Alright, VK3JED, we'll toss it back to you, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, just looking at something weird going on the XLX dashboard. And that is, that was saying you were coming through VK2ROT, whereas previously you were coming through as yourself. That was, let's say the least, a little on the interesting side. Whether you'd reconfigured your connection, I don't know. And the station before was also coming via that route. Or the dashboard's telling porkies, of course, but with the long convoluted paths that things follow, anything's possible. Now it's correct itself because I'm coming in on D-Star. It can actually see me directly. With all the metadata. I'm learning a lot about rocketry and how it works, at least in the States. Not sure how it works here. As I said, I didn't get far enough into it to find out. There were a group of people who were looking to get involved, but it never amounted to anything. Some things do, some things don't, I guess. And they were sort of looking for me because I knew the radio side and comms, and I was actually sort of trying to encourage them to get their licenses. So we could put radio stuff on the rockets, but it never got off the ground. Pardon the pun. Anyway, looking at the time, it's almost 3 o'clock, and I've pretty much run dry, so I'll make this a final. I will listen around, but I'll make this a final and go back on the side and declare my testing successful, which is a nice way to be on the net. The only issue I've got with one of my DMR feeds, but it's a mysterious one. Basically, it's not liking the call sign, but it's all good in the DMR ID file, so things that make you go, a very obscure gremlin, that one. But the workaround is he's changed the call sign for the feed, and that's been working fine today. Anyway, KJ7RMO, the group VK3JD, as I said, I'll make this a final, but I will be listening for a while. Cheers all.
Alright, VK3JED KJ7OMO returning. Alright, that sounds good. Thanks so much for hanging out with us as always. And I shall say 7-3, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. If you're not too busy, of course. But yeah, it's kind of strange that my call sign is occasionally showing up as VK2ROT. Weird. I know the KE8 station is going through the VK2ROT repeater, so, I wonder if somehow the metadata got mixed up along the lines. But anyways, as long as our voices are making it through, then that's all that matters. All right. VK5ZSH, we'll toss it over to you, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, KJ7IMO, VK5ZSH returning. Okay, it looks like we're getting correct metadata showing up there. When I fire up Peanut, Kimberly, when you were talking, it did show you there briefly as VK2ROT. So yeah, there was a little bit of a mix-up there. So, but yeah, I'm giving you Peanut a run. Yeah, I had a little bit of a timeout issue here for some reason. Just right at the end of the over with the last person before Tony, it just timed out, and yeah, I had to actually wait for it to reconnect itself back to Tony's node. So yeah, that's back and doing its thing and whatnot. So besides that, very happy with the ASL node. The only thing I haven't been able to get working on it is the COS LED. So being that it's transmitting to it, I'm not so much bothered about it. So, but yeah, it would be nice to know out there that land in proximity to me, whether they're active or not. Things there with it, and how and why they're it
low voltage. Low voltage.
Things get muddled up and whatnot. Hang on a sec.
Dale, real quick, you were breaking up quite bad. KJ7OMO, back to you.
Well, because it is like 2:30 here. Haven't had lunch yet and stuff, so I should go and do that and whatnot. So, being back there, Kimberly, cheers and 73 all. Great chatting, good conversation and topics, etc. So, yeah, cheers and 73 all. VK5 ZSH going clear of 7 Worldwide Pride Radio Net. Cheers all.
All right, VK5ZSH, KJ7, I'm returning. Unfortunately, you were breaking up quite a bit on that transmission. It's likely due to the unstable nature of our Peanut bridge. But anyways, thanks for hanging out with us. 7-3. I did got your 7-3 at least. Hi. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, over to you. Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Frequency mode.
Okay, it looks like we're having some connection trouble again with Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray. We'll try you one more time.
Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray. Sorry, had a little problem there, independent of the other problem. I think the gremlins had me tonight, but I've gone ahead and got that straightened away. I don't have too much else to add. I'm starting to wind down over here. Anyway, so I'm going to turn it back to you and turn in for the night. So I wanted to say good night to everybody. Thank you again for taking my check-ins and for my patience with the gremlins here. And 73, you all have a good one. This is AE4WX. Back to you, Kimberly. And again, thank you for the net.
Alright, AE4WX KJ7, I'm returning. Thanks for hanging out with us, and 7-3, and we'll see you on the next one. November 3, Victor Echo Mike, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, over to you.
Good deal. Yeah. It sounds like I guess folks are starting to get tired and tap out, and yeah, I guess it is getting fairly late. I was up late last night, so I guess I'm a little out of whack because I still have far more energy this time of night than I usually do. But yeah, I'll actually, and I might just shoot an email to the. Well, I don't know, and Kimberly, maybe you could answer the question. I was considering shooting an email to the main contact email for the Pride Radio group, or maybe I could just jump in the Discord and ask the questions too. I was actually kind of curious who and I guess I could look and find out who the trustee is of the I think K3 PRG is the U.S. call sign that the Pride group has. I've been just kind of poking around places online, and ever since I set up this repeater, it actually wasn't too difficult, and I've been dipping my toes in the water if I want to have another go at setting up another one. And I started actually kind of shopping around a little bit and looking around to see what's out there, and if there's places where I could get on one of the towers with one of the local clubs or something like that. And I thought it would be kind of fun to put one up, but actually under the K3 PRG call. So I haven't gotten very far down that path, but at some point I'll want to connect with whoever the trustee of that call is and see what their appetite would be for tackling a project like that. It's something that obviously I'd be willing to do the work for it as a second time around, but it was something I thought might be kind of interesting to do because I know the open call has been out there for putting more repeaters on, so it's something that's been itching around in the back of my mind. So yeah, I'll send it back to you, and I guess we'll see who all's still around. N3 VEM.
N3 VEM KJ7 OMO returning. Well, if you're a member of the Pride Radio group, then as far as I understand, you do have use of the call sign as well, but it's still a good idea to make contact with the trustee anyway. If you, you can find this information on the QRZ page of K3PRG, but yeah, head on over to prideradio.group, that is prideradio.group, and sign yourself up for a free membership, and it'll take them a few days to approve, but once they approve you, and they'll give you access to our Discord chat room, and from there, we can coordinate that thing. But yeah, I mean, we would gladly have a permanent repeater up, anytime, regardless of what call sign you wind up using. But yeah, check it out. Join us if you'd like, and yeah, and we'll see what we can do. Anyways, 7-3 to you, and thanks for hanging out as always, and we'll see you on the next one. And we'll see you on the next one. KE8RJD KJ7OMO.
Break.
Alright, break station. Is there an emergency? Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
No emergency there, Kimberly. But yeah, just want to refer back to the PRG call signs. As my understanding is of them, they're basically, to be sort of used as, say you're going to go activate a SOTA or a POTA or something like that, and you want to do it under the Pride Radio Group stuff. Use that call sign for a slotted time, basically. As far as I know, they don't get used much. I know Kitty uses the VK3 PRG call sign a bit. Outside of that, it'd be ideal to jump on Discord and hit up Fox or one of the other admins there that are more keyed into it. But there is information there on the Discord about the call signs. So back to you there, Kimberly. KJ7OMO, VK5 ZSH.
VK3JD.
Alright, just as a reminder, the use of break should be reserved only for emergencies. It's better to say comment instead. VK3JED, go ahead. KJ7OMO.
Yeah, further to all the comments, I would recommend that those looking to use the call signs, in this case the US1K3PRG, just pop the question in the appropriate Discord channel, in this case the #K3PRG. Just go into that channel and pop your question there would be the best place to put it, since it's relevant to that particular club call sign. KJ7OMO, VK3JD.
Alright, but in order to do that on the Discord, you'll obviously need to sign up for a free membership, which would get you in on the Discord. Do you have any further comments or traffic before we move on to the last station? N3VEM KJ7OMO.
No, just thanks everybody for the info, and I did actually sign up for a membership. So yeah, when I pop in there and when I get further down my research just to see what's even available in the area, I'll find out, because there's kind of two things I've been exploring with after being through the exercise of getting one repeater up and running, that I'd like to try for another one. So yeah, I'll pop in there and ask around, see what folks' thoughts are, and then kind of decide how to go from there. So yeah, I'll probably be around for a little bit yet, depending on if there's others around too. N3 VEM, back to net.
Alright, well, we'll be having an afternet. We'll probably have an afternet party after we officially close the net. KE8RJD. Sorry for all the delays there. KJ7OMO.
Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. This is Kilo Echo 8 Romeo Juliet Delta. No problem on that. You know, I understand that, you know, as net control, you got to take all, because you never know when there's a real emergency or not, or real traffic going on, so no problems here. So my question is, first time tonight, I believe this is Pride Radio, so Kimberly, how do I join this?
All right. Well, this net happens every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time, which would be Saturday evenings in the U.S. I see that you are connected to the VK2ROT repeater, which is located all the way in Australia, and their repeater is only connected during this net. So once this net closes, then that repeater will immediately be disconnected, or almost immediately. For future nets, we have connections available on pretty much every mode. We're on All-Star, Echolink, IROP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, P25, NXD, and M17, D-Star, as well as a somewhat unstable connection with Peanut, but we're working on the stability issues. Information about how you can connect to the network can be found at prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. Back to you.
Roger that. PrideRadio.com. I got that. And really enjoy it. Kimberly, you did a very good job at the net tonight. So I like good conversation. And there was a couple different situations there tonight that, you know, I don't really want to get into, but I like the conversation, I like the people, and you do a real good job running that. So this is Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Juliet Delta. My name is Herb, Southeast Ohio, and I'll be clear and listening. Thank you very much for letting me join tonight, Kimberly. I'll be clear and listening. Thank you.
All right, correction on the website, prideradionetwork.com. Prideradionetwork.com. All right, well, thank you for hanging out with us, and I shall say 7-3, and feel free to stop by the network anytime, regardless if there's a net or not. The network is open 24/7 and open to all licensed radio amateur operators, regardless of membership or not. Let me reset for a moment. All right, we shall say 7-3, and look forward to hearing you on the net again. Alright, folks, that is a wrap. I would like to thank all of you for participating and having fun on this net. I also would like to thank the Waverley Amateur Radio the Waverley Amateur Radio Society in Sydney, as well as the folks behind the VK3RBO repeater for the use of their systems to carry this net, as well as VK3JED, VK2WAY, and the rest of the Pride Radio group for making this net and this network possible. I now return all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to their abnormal use. I mean, normal amateur use. 7-3, everybody, from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar. And I will be standing by monitoring for any afternet party.
VE2 Tango Scout Juliet, maybe a little late.
Alright, Victor Echo 2 Tango Oscar Juliet. Right when the net is closed, but that's alright. I'll give you a courtesy check-in. KJ7OMO.
Thank you, Net Control. This is V2 Tango Oscar Juliet. Maybe a little too late. I just turned my radio on and, well, I was busy on my MacBook, but I saw that there were activity on the repeater. Everything seems to be working fine on my side. Just wanted to show up on the net. Unfortunately, it's too late, but however, it's almost close to midnight here in Quebec, so I wish you a good Sunday, or, well, yeah, it's almost Sunday. Okay. Bye-bye. I'll try not to be too late next time. Bye-bye, good night. Have a nice day. V2 Tango Oscar Juliet, Tonya in Quebec.
Alright, Victor Echo 2 Tango Oscar Juliet, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. Alright, Atonia. Well, good hearing from you again, and hopefully you'll make it to the next one. I've marked you down as an in and out for the net. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar saying 7-3, and the net is officially closed. But I'll be hanging around and monitoring for any normal non-net activities. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. I'll go ahead and leave the ROT repeater connected for maybe a little tiny bit, and then I'll disconnect it here shortly.
KJ7OMO, this is N3VEM. Hey, I have a wildly important question for you.
Alright, N3VEM, KJ7OMO, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning on one of the past nets that you did some gaming, and I was curious if you're like, and on the Young Hams Trivia Net, you were all over the early Mario questions. So I wanted to ask if are you more of like a retro gamer, or are you into like more modern gaming, or do you do some of both?
I'm mostly into modern gaming, though I did do some retro gaming in the past.
Okay, yeah, I was just curious. I haven't done any. Well, I guess so. The last gaming that I was doing regularly was Diablo 2. Probably like, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 years ago. Has it been that long? But yeah, just very recently I started dabbling around with some of the retro gaming via RetroPie stuff. Actually, just because I had an older Pi that I was trying to figure out what to do with it, so I set it up. And yeah, I am terrible at the games, but I've been dabbling at some of the retro stuff, and the one kiddo has kind of really gotten into it. So now I'm on the hunt for some better controllers. So I don't know if you're a controller person, a joystick person, and but yeah, I think I want to find a set of decent Wi-Fi controllers that don't break, or not Wi-Fi, but wireless controllers that don't break the bank, but work with a PC and are fairly universal. So I didn't know if you had any tips. That's why I was asking the question.
Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction. I love that game.
Yeah, copy that. I tried so many controllers, and although I do like the idea of using controllers and I do enjoy using them, unfortunately I can never find a video game that would make proper use of them. So, yeah, and so the controllers wind up never getting used, and then they collect dust, and then finally something happens, they break, and well, yeah. So, as much as I'd love to use controllers, I just can't, because, again, I can never find a game that would make use of them. I heard somebody else out there. Go ahead and ID yourself and join us, KJ7OMO.
It was only me there, Kimberly, just saying Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, my favourite game of all time. Played the bejeebers out of it to the point that my CD keys got banned. Oh, bloody Blizzard. Hi. PS4 controllers, I think they use Bluetooth, if I remember correctly. And you should be able to connect with those not too badly. And I think there's actually a Linux package there to make use of the Xbox controller as well. So there are a couple of things there for you to check out. I think it was N3VEM. Back around to you.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check those out. And it's funny you mentioned that the PS4 controller one specifically, because there's sitting in an online shopping cart but unordered is I had found a pair of what I presume is like knockoff PS4 controllers, because they look very much like the PS4 ones, but were a lot less expensive. But yeah, if folks are making the PS4 ones work with their PCs or with Linux, that might be the way to go, because I'm assuming I could probably find used ones without spending too much money, and basically don't want to start sucking a whole bunch of money into the gaming. Basically just want to be able to find something fairly inexpensively that I can make work, since one of my kiddos was having some fun with it. And I thought, well, maybe I'll encourage it just enough to make it fun for he and I to dabble around at it. So yeah, I'll send it. Well, if we go round robin style, I guess Kimberly, you'd be next. This is N3VEM.
Yeah, N3VEM KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. That one game, too bad you were banned from it, Dale. Wow, that's pretty nuts. But I've never actually played it. I don't even remember if I heard about it or not. Probably not. There's so many games that I play, I just lose track of them all. VK5ZSH, KJ7OMO, we'll toss it back to you.
Yeah, no problems there, Kimberly. Yeah, no, the reason why I got banned is because I had Tough as Nails Sorceress, and I used to go down and do bail runs solo, and because I wasn't basically killing anything on the way down besides the room before going into bail, they thought that I was running map hacks and stuff like that. And when you put the amount of hours into Diablo as I did, the maps don't change much. So it was very easily to ascertain, like, okay, yep, I know which map we're on here now, and bang, you knew exactly where to go. But yeah, that's what got me done. Yeah, unfortunate, but hey, I played it for, what was it, probably 5 or so years, so yeah, I well and truly got my money's worth, and I've still got the box sets here too. So anyway, that's sort of a constellation prize. Anyway, I'm going to go back on the side listening, because yeah, I'm going to go grab some food and a drink, etc., etc. So yeah, I'll be on the side listening anyway, and I'll put it around to you there. N3VEM, VK5ZSH.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. I didn't have quite as many hours as it sounds like you did in it, but yeah, I spent back early 2000s, I guess, was when that one was in its heyday, and I spent a number of, well, I guess I spent enough hours at it that when I was service tech on the road visiting customer sites, but I know if I happened to have a customer site near home at lunchtime, it was not unheard of for me to sneak in a little Diablo at lunchtime, stop at home, and play for 45 minutes or an hour before I hit my next job. So yeah, that was the last one I was playing, and yeah, I do recall what you're saying, where you kind of got accustomed to the maps and the layouts. So yeah, and I probably have my boxes buried in the storage room here somewhere. So yeah, maybe someday I'll have to get them out and I don't know, maybe frame them, turn it into artwork or something. But yeah, with that, it's getting late for me too. So I think I'm gonna try to hit the hay here and call it a night. So yeah, Kimberly, I'll kick it back to you and listen around in case you have anything to add, and then I'll be clear. N3VEM.
Alright, sounds good. KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, that's too bad that happened, Dale. You could see if you could get that ban appealed, and though probably doubt they would want to listen to your appeal, but you could try if you wanted. But yeah, it was good that you at least got your money's worth out of it. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and move off to the side. 7-3 to the both of you, and we'll see you next time. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. I'll be monitoring. Alrighty, YouTube, that's it for me. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you on the next one. 7-3, everyone, from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.